Hi, this is George Bredehoff from Valari Products, and today I'm going to make a video to show you how to make reverse S-hooks in a simple and easy, quick manner that produces results that look like these two hooks right here. I know that Chris Beam has done a video already, and he uses needle nose pliers, but today I'm going to show you how to use these two tools. These are Harry Higley wire benders, and first I'll show you how to bend an S-hook in, a reverse S-hook in 1/32 wire and then in O47 wire. So you're going to need two tools for this: a needle nose pliers and a bench vise. The bench vise is used to hold the Harry Higley wire bending tool, and I like to do two things. I like to grasp it by the two little wire nubs sticking out there, and then clamp it in to the vise with a little bit of an angle, not square to the, don't have the pins square in the vise, have just a little bit of angle there, and I'll show you why in a little bit. So clamp that down, and then we'll get on to the next part. Take your wire. This is 1/32 wire, O32, and this is cut to 4 inches. I'll recommend, let me put a white background on here so you can see this. I'll recommend that you cut somewhere between 3 and 4 inches. It doesn't matter exactly, although what will happen is you're going to end up cutting off part of this end when you match it to your model anyway. So if you make it too long, you're just going to be wasting wire. On the heavier wire, O47, you might need a little bit of leverage anyway. Anyway, this was cut or made using a wire cut to 3.5 inches. I'm going to show 4 inches today. The very first thing you need to do to the wire is take your needle nose and measure off with your eyeball about 3/16 or 1/4 inch, clamp it, and bend a right angle in it. As you can see, that's not quite right angle, so we'll go at it, give it a little bit more twist, and we've got a right angle. Almost. There we go. Okay, now is when you start using your wire bender. Take the wire so that the tail is facing away from you, and that this little tail that you just bent is vertical. Okay, and you place it in between the two pins on the wire bender, and make sure you have a little bit extra beyond that peg, because as you wrap this around, it's going to want to pull that through there, and if you put it in too close like this, it's just going to pull out and wrap around, or not wrap around. So you want to have just a little bit there. Now, to start this, I take the needle nose and I clamp it right down on that wire to keep it vertical. Okay, and I grasp that. Now you take your left hand and you wrap this wire around the left peg. Okay, now when you get about halfway around, you can release that needle nose and just make sure that it's sitting in there nice and tight. And you wrap that 180 degrees so that the leg is going 180 degrees from where it started out. Okay, now the next step is to wind the other half of the S. So you come around and you place this. So we just got done doing this, right? So lift it up, place that loop on the right hand peg, and start bringing it around clockwise. Now first you did counterclockwise, and now you're going to do clockwise. Sometimes I like to take the needle nose and force that down on there just to keep things square again. Okay, and right up against that pin, just like that. So force that on there like that, and then just bend around the other way until again you're 180 degrees. So right now you have this, looks like an S, looks like a reverse S when you look at the end where the rubber is going to attach. So the next part that we're going to do is we're going to take our needle nose, come right across here, all of those wires, 3 legs, 2 loops, and we're going to clamp it there. And now we want to make this wire go vertical and match the tail that we bent the first time. So just bend a 90 in it. Make sure that you're square. You can see that's not quite square. This is called adjusting your bends right here. So these are relatively equal. And now you want to put this tail facing away from you and measure out approximately the same distance and bend this wire 45 degrees right towards the other tail. Okay, so now you have a situation like this. Come about roughly 1/8 of an inch. You want to get that centered and bend it back just the way you just came from. Give it a little tweak here and there you've got a satisfactory reverse S hook. Nice square corners, everything's nice and neat. Now we're going to do the O47 wire. Remove the small Harry Higley tool, replace it with the large Harry Higley tool. The actual sizes of these are the small ones defined as a 1/32 wire bender, and this is a 1/16 wire bender. Again, take our music wire, bend a little tail on it. This is much stiffer than the O32 wire, so you're going to have to use a lot more force. Get that to a 90 degree. Again, put it in there, hold it up, have the tail facing away from you, put in a little excess there, hold the wire with the needle nose, bend this around. Again, it's going to require a little bit more force. You get about halfway through, you can remove the wire or the needle nose and force this around. See, now that's why you want it a little longer so it doesn't slip through there. I'm having problems with that wire slipping between the other two as I bend this around. Well, I had to edit that, cut off the starting end. I had that problem where I made this section too short and it was pulling the wire through. So we'll start over, bend a 90 on here. Get close to a 90 anyway. That looks pretty good. Make sure that you have plenty of wire over here so that it doesn't pull through this time. Anchor it down, bend it around 180 degrees. Remember, with wire, you have to go just a little beyond your target to get it to stay. Now, we put it on the other peg. First time it was on the left-hand peg and we went counterclockwise. Now we put it on the right-hand peg and wrap clockwise 180 degrees. Get that S shape. Grasp it firmly with the needle nose pliers. Bend this up to match the other leg. Grasp this vertical leg once you get it bent the right way. The long leg, you want it grasp across about the same depth as this leg. Bend it directly towards that leg, 45 degrees. Leave a little space like that and bend it backwards. Now, you see that I didn't bend it far enough. You might have to adjust all of these bends to get a good S hook. But when you're done, you've got a nice hook, pretty well centered, and this will fit the rubber nicely. It will also handle O-rings if you use O-rings. O-rings fit in there really nicely. You can tighten them up a little bit if you want the O-rings really tight in there. Again, make sure you deburr the ends of the rubber, deburr the ends of the wire so that it doesn't cut your rubber. And there you have it. Remove that, get it out of the way, put our white space back here. We've got 2 new S hooks, reverse S hooks, to go with our previously created ones. Again, we're using the Harry Higley 1/16 wire bender and 1/32 wire bender. A bench vise and needle nose pliers. Thank you.